Hi everyone, welcome to SheR Explores where we talk to experts about community.
Today's guest is Nikhilesh, the founder of Habitry, a multidimensional health and wellness platform that focuses on helping Indians build healthy habits. And they also have their own community on WhatsApp and have been killing it lately on Instagram. Welcome to the podcast, Nikhilesh.
Thank you, thank you. Glad to be here.
So, we always ask a signature question to everyone, which is
Okay,
what do you believe is the absolute truth about community?
okay. For me, I think the absolute truth of the community, if you have to ask me, be it, I mean, I won't limit it to the kind of community that I'm trying to run right now. I think I will always put it down to one single word, which is interaction. I will rate even negative interaction as interaction, positive as well as positive interaction. I think ultimately it's the job of the someone who thinks that he or she is the community manager, and not typically in the community sense that we talk about, but any community to manage it in that way. I've seen great outputs coming out of negative interactions also. By negative, I mean there could be feedback which is not so good about whatever's happening around or whatever's been discussed about. There could be anger, there could be angst, but the person who manages it, if that person is someone who is okay to take in that as a feedback and then learn and come back with better outputs, and that's the kind of interaction that he or she would want to always maintain in the community, I think they have killed it. That's why I would always use the word interaction for that.
So,
Yeah.
for people who don't know, Nikhilesh has around 30,000 followers, which he's built from scratch. He's not a creator, he's just a founder who's really passionate about
Yeah.
health. So, I do want to know when you think about your 30,000 followers on Instagram, do you think of them as your audience or do you think of them as your community members?
Right now, I would think of them as audience. I mean, right now where I'm placed, I will think of them as audience. I would like them to turn into community members, but I think we will be. I'll be very honest in this podcast. So I've not been able to crack that conversion yet. I mean, converting those audience into community members is something. Is the journey which I'm trying to crack with the team that I have around me. So it will be great that if we are able to crack it soon. But I still feel that it takes it every. I mean, it's a journey which does take time because what happens with social media is there would be some things that would give you virality, and then you suddenly get in a rush of people who are following you for a few of those posts, and then I'm at a stage, or I think most of us are at a stage who are starting out now on social media, that we are not 100% sure on what we are trying to do. Okay. Uh, and we should also not be 100% sure. I think if someone's pretty 100% sure, I don't think they are just starting off. They know, and they know how to kill the market already. Uh, so we take our shots, right? So see, basically, what there's a parallel that I can always take of organic content with meta ads or Facebook ads or Google ads. What is thought when someone tries to learn about how to do advertising on Google, Meta, or Facebook is that if you want to try to sell a product, make around 10 versions of those ads, 10 copies of those ads, run them on a very limited budget, try to see which one works, and then run versions of that ad only, because that's something that is working. You need to see what's working for you, but you need to try also, because I don't think, because there are two things. One is trying, other is if you know something is working but you do a lot of it, irrespective of how much are people tell you, but we are humans, we ourselves will be fatigued. So yeah, keep trying, try to see, and I think I'm in that phase where I'm trying to see what will work for me to convert that audience base into an engaging community.
And what would the main difference between your audience and your community members be right now?
Very clear, it will be engagement on the platform with whatever I'm posting, be it a carousel, be it a story. I mean, consistency in engagement, rather, that's very important, because so one of my posts will get engagement from a certain section, other gets from a certain section, then I would then maybe I might get stuck between them, trying to understand which should I cater to, and then which one should I try to convert to my audience, uh, to my customers or community members, or should I call them as my engaged community. So consistency in that engagement is important, and then maybe try to see if they can convert to some other platform from there. Maybe they take them to my WhatsApp, try to see what are they finding interesting in the WhatsApp community, how are they responding to, who is responding to, and I think then I think I have a audience base which is consistent, and which has turned into a very consistently engaging community.
Okay. So, given that the audience is like a consistently engaging one, what sort of insights do you think you've learned from posting and from having this amount of audience that you wouldn't have known before this?
So what I'm seeing is that nutrition is still something which is an area that people still need to learn about. I mean, irrespective of how many articles we are reading, or there's so much of information out there about what works, what not works. Protein should be consumed x amount of grams, carbs x amount of grams. But these are all things which are, at the top layer, which we can talk, which brands can talk about, which everyone or any health influencer will talk about. But then there is a layer below it also, which just doesn't know that how and what is that protein also, or from where are we getting it, and in fact what are those different things that I can take for it. Protein bolenge to they will probably look at only whey protein, or they will look at only eggs, or they will only look at chicken. Baki nahi pata hai. So the content which goes viral for me will be the one where people are slightly aware about the topic, but they have a lot of questions. But if I'm trying to be, you can't say smart also, but if I'm trying to be someone who wants to give them some new kind of information, I don't think I have built that kind of a profile yet in their mind, or a brand yet in their mind, where I talk something new and they are like, whoa, wow, this is very good. This is something new for me. Let me just learn from him. Again, the taste of your content is very important. I mean, I think I have understood that as well. So you have to be very clear what is your taste. I mean, that could probably be your differentiation also. So there are people who would make content which is so simple, but then the taste is fantastic. By taste, I mean the kind of formats they are using, the kind of the quality of the footage that they are using, the kind of the way they are talking also into the while they are doing any talking head formats kind of reels. So that just separates you from the rest of the people, because otherwise everyone on social media these days is having almost similar kind of, most of us are almost having similar kind of content, which is because of similar kind of thoughts, which is because of similar type of content that all of us have been consuming. And someone has told us that yes, you repeat what others are doing and you will be successful, but that's not happening now. I think you need to bring out a unique perspective with a unique taste into it also.
Yeah, that's something Sheena and I also keep seeing, right, across the
Yeah.
board, that if you don't have a unique perspective, you are not adding much to people's already fatigued like content feeds.
Right now I've started noticing the pattern where I understand, okay, this has been written by an AI, the content, I mean, not the written part, but even the script part of someone talking or someone giving information. And what is happening is, if you actually see a lot of those videos in on Instagram where people are promoting health related products, you will see a typical script that they are following. I just did this not because I'm this, but because I'm this. I start my day like this, not because I'm this, but because I'm this. So these are those typical kind of formats that everyone's doing it. Yes, people are still getting famous on that, as viral with that as well. But I think, see, once you understand these are the patterns that are coming out of AI, apne ko bhi maza nahi aata. You will try to see, yeah, no, come on, let's try to break away from this. So that's the kind of uniqueness that I think we need to get into the picture when we are putting out content. You can sacrifice your views or your virality for some time. That's fine, then in fact that's also good, because if the views are limited, I think those are the ones who are the repeat audiences who are watching you.
Correct. Do you think then that like repeat audience has a better understanding of what you're trying to tell them in terms of fitness or in terms of nutrition or whatever your like core concept is? And do you think that same thing applies to community? Because community is like a more intimate, more like close knit
Yeah.
model, right? So do you think people in a health community like yours have a better understanding or are looking for more than just the top of funnel type of information?
Yeah, in fact, I think that's the right way to do it. Also, no, I think I feel, because if there's someone who is repeatedly engaging with your content, they are already your. I think I'm assuming I will say that they are already somewhere close to becoming your community member, and then the onus is on you to convert them to a community member. Maybe don't go paid, because I've not tried the paid approach yet, so I'm not sure. I mean, how people use lead magnets to convert you into a newsletter subscriber, or maybe even a community member. Maybe try something like that, get them there, and that's where you understand if that person is going to actually go ahead and buy your plan as well. We do that. I mean, we as consumers also do it a lot of time, right? I mean, there are few newsletters which I've been part of, like, for the last 6 7 years. I'm still reading them, but I've still not bought anything from them. Like, for example, James Clear. I read his news. I wait for his newsletter. I read it every day, every Thursday. But I won't buy anything from him. So that is also a kind of audience which you will be having. But then for someone like James Clear, those hundreds of people or thousands or millions of people like me are pushing him to push that content every week on week as a newsletter, right? Even if they are not converting into customers or community members. So that's the first step of your community, and then the onus is on you on how well can you convert them into your community members.
So now that we are talking about your community, I'm sure you're part of other health and wellness communities as well.
Yeah.
And every brand right now is trying to build a community or has already built one and is trying to maintain it. So, from a
Or they
founder
have something which they call
perspective,
a community. They don't know, but they
exactly,
are
or they
calling
have
something everything community.
maybe they're calling their social media community,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah,
X,
but boy, if you
LinkedIn, jo bhi
subscribe
hai.
to their blog post, they will mail you that thanks for being part of our community.
Yeah, Substack भी अभी community हो गया है. What do you think you need to have? Like you absolutely must have things in the community for it to be useful because we have so many options now as members.
Yeah, I don't know how can you define it. That is something that you'll have to keep trying in your community, and then you understand. But there should be a frequency which with which you as the owner of the community are interacting with the with community member. Not too spammy or not too dead as well. That I think gives a lot of breathing space. Other thing is that at least in this space, you need to have SMEs inside the community, subject matter experts. So I will be very honest in admitting that right now my SMEs are not doing the job. Everyone's busy in their own life, so I think they are not responding well. Or probably for them, it's not such. I have, or maybe it's my. It's I'll take that on to me also that I have not able to. I have not been able to convince them to understand that the more we groom the community that we have, the more are our chances of either getting customers or at least getting a good name out in the market. I have the type of groups that I've made in the community. One for nutrition, one for mindset, one for moms, the kind of audience that I would like to cater to and the kind of subjects that we'd like to talk about. But not just me responding, but there are different subject matter experts responding. For example, I can't keep commenting in a mom's wala group. No one's going to like it, irrespective of how much ever information or how much ever uh, depth I have. I think no. Right now, to groom that community, to get that community to a certain level of engagement, there should be some mom who should be talking, uh, engaging in that community, who should be answering to their queries, who should maybe even question a few of them and keep that engagement running. That I think is very important for, especially for a health and fitness worker, because see, influencers आजकल सब लोग हैं, and that's where Instagram is creating a bit of a problem for people also now, because slowly people are also realizing अरे यार इसका भी सुनूं उसका भी सुनूं करूँ क्या मैं, I mean, तुम बोल रहे हो पानी खड़े रह के पानी मत पियो, फिर तुम बोलते हो ये कोई आगे बोलता है ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ये सब तुम लोग को आयुर्वेदा ही सिखा रहा है, बट नॉट द एलो मॉडर्न मेडिसिन ऐसा कुछ नहीं करता, इट्स ऑल फाइन यू कैन डू. Then somewhere the customer says अरे यार what do I listen to, whom do I, what is right and what is wrong, which I think can be very well managed if they are part of a community, because then they have that trust that they are part of your work. Then if you keep on having those kind of conversations with them where a subject matter expert is getting involved, answering their queries or talking to them, or even running some challenges to them, saying that okay, this is what I did, can you just challenge me, ऐसा कुछ कर रहे हैं, it's very crucial. It's very crucial, I think.
So a lot of content that we know about community comes from the West, right? India
100%.
is a community forward space. Like we have communities everywhere. Society ho gaya, joint family ho gaya. Those are all different kinds of communities that we've all like grew up with. But something that we all forget when we are building for women is the culture. Like you were
Culture.
saying, right? You can't answer in the mom's group.
Yeah.
You're right. You're not a mom. Even if you have the understanding of it, you're not a mom. You'll never understand what they are going through. But also culturally, women don't like to talk about women issues with men.
So I have I have those kind of people in my team actually. See, I have a mindset coach, I have a nutritionist. Uh, all they can respond, and they are working mothers. They are doing this along with having running a family, and in a lot of cases they have an overlap also. They are walking the talk. They are managing their life, personal life, professional life, their health, everything together, keeping it as sane as on track as possible, managing their habits pretty well. So it's just about, it's just about disseminating that information to others and trying to get the energy of the community up.
You said that honestly when you were speaking that the conversion of Instagram audience to a community member, you don't think you've cracked it yet.
Yeah.
What do you think is essential to have that like pipeline sorted? Doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but at least to make sure that your Instagram audience is being collected somewhere where you can talk to them more intimately or more privately.
So that's where I think I missed the bus in the beginning. I thought let's keep posting, posting, posting. This is, but I forgot that there will someday something work for you where people are commenting, and you are sending them something, and then they are like, okay, this is working. This is something which is sensible, which I think I can try, and then maybe I can keep interacting with his content better more, and then maybe I can join his WhatsApp community too, and then we missed the bus trying it now, but that's very important. I mean, like because you asked, right, where are you collecting them from? Where so from then I think I would have been able to convert them from followers to that community wala type of audience.
But I also haven't seen you promote your WhatsApp community at all anywhere. So I would say ke, I don't think you've missed the bus because you have constant, content going out, constantly people are coming to your profile. You're growing at a good speed considering you guys don't spend on Meta at all, is it?
Yeah, we don't spend anything, zero.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
with that, I think if you guys could just maybe focus on building a culture,
yeah,
because that I think will solve a lot of your problems, not just with getting people to your community, but also like the problem you're having with your experts not responding. That is just like a lack of culture, right? A
yeah,
lot of people
100%.
who come to your profile, like let's talk about your viral reel, the seven types of roti.
Yeah, yeah.
That reel blew up.
Hmm.
Like it has 20 million
Yeah,
likes, sorry, views,
views.
right? If you can just somehow reach out to all of them, like have your team reach out to them and tell them I have a community where I dissect Indian food like the seven types of roti to help you meet your goal,
Yeah,
then you
that's a
have a
good idea.
higher chance that will just come to your community. But before you do that, you need to make sure that you need to have that subject matter expert,
Yeah, agree.
because what will happen is they'll come to you and they'll be excited, whether
Yeah,
they'll be excited to learn from you, whether they'll be excited to like, you know tell their friends I know an influencer and I'm in his group. Whatever that excitement is will eventually die out if the value is not there.
agree.
And
100
once you build that culture with your team,
team.
you tell them about community, you tell people about your community, keep posting about your community on all platforms, people are going to come and want to look for that purpose that you're going to help them. So I don't think anyone's missed the bus. I just think the growth channels have not been optimized properly,
I
but
mean, and
once you
priority
do,
also something you can sometimes you can do only one.
yeah, of
इतना
course.
ही कर सकते हैं एक टाइम पे वैसे हो जाता है. So that's also one issue.
Like you're a founder, right? So at some point you have to make a call कि ये मेरी priority है या नहीं है. For
जी.
Habitry as well, does this make sense for a brand to invest in building community, or it does
Yeah,
not? So
agree.
when
Yes.
do you think it will be the point for Habitry to like double down on community?
I'm very clear from day one itself. I mean, some amount of nurturing should happen every day in the community space, which we have already. Uh, yeah, I mean, and with like you're saying, culture, so very important that we try to drill that down to everyone who are part of Habitry, to understand that why that space is important. I mean, it's not right now, I think even I have not been able to convince them to understand that it's not just a WhatsApp group where you are just interacting with random people. We have to be very clear that this is something that would that would get us good name into the market, right? I think sales तो बात की बात है. Like we always talk about this community, probably sales. Yes, it's a channel, but sales probably बात की बात है. But till that time, at least let people think that, oh wow, I'm getting something of value over here. Like I will be very honestly admitting also, I've been part of PFC's community also on Telegram. I don't check that community every day, but I'll tell you, if whenever I check it once a week or once every 15 days, I do check the topics that are interesting to me, and I'm seeing them responded pretty well over there by the coaches that PFC has. And the good part is, uh, they won't discourage you also from responding. Okay, I have never seen anyone telling you, no, no, it's only our coaches who will respond. So very honest and very open in that sense, right? And I'm seeing people asking questions in the workout wali group, the nutrition wala group. वहाँ पे it's very good. It's very good. Some Chirag himself sometimes will enter the chat and respond. They don't leave anything unanswered. That's what I've seen.
Yeah, and that is how it should be. I mean, when you want to have that, the view he holds is that India should get fitter, India should get healthier, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, it's like no holds bar. Even the questions that might seem basic, people feel comfortable enough to answer them, and they get good, like well detailed answers. But that also comes from his SMEs, right? I think the
Exactly. Yeah. So
culture of that, like giving information and having that like high agency that anybody can respond makes a huge difference, especially like in the fitness space in India. Yeah, they're very on the ball. I think they use Telegram as their testing ground, and then now they've also migrated to WhatsApp community
are
is
they?
also quite big. I think 1,000 members, yeah. And this is because WhatsApp also doesn't have any moderation tools, so everybody is doing it manually from their team, but the team is also quite sizable, some ten,
Yeah.
12 people, I think. Now, knowing that you're such a big believer of community, right, where do you see the future of online communities in India?
See, I can't put a number, or I can't put a size kind of an like an answer to it. But what I think, I mean, what I understand is why they should, or they will continue to rise, is because I think platforms like Instagram will now slowly and slowly people might get bored. We are seeing people also logging off Instagram also now. So I think people might shift to this such intimate spaces like where they are part of a group of people who are very similar to them. I mean, at least they relate to them, or at least, I mean, at least some people जिनके जैसे they can become, or they are wanting to become. Fitness example, मतलब why would someone want to join a PFC? Yeah, I would want someone to like join Habitry because someone wants to stay consistent with their habits around fitness and around nutrition, and that's why they are there. So that will stay. I mean, that should stay. Contrary to what we read, contrary to what few people saying that communities are probably dying down. Offline may, I think, might. I mean, my view is offline may probably it might die down because slowly people might start thinking that chalo I'm okay with being alone. So I think वो offline वाले thing चीजें थोड़ी छोटी हो जाएंगी. But things like these online things might continue well, is what I feel. Because then you can be in touch with them on the fly, and you don't necessarily need a weekend or a weekday or anything to interact with them, right?
Agreed. I completely agree. I think everyone I know around me has also said, "Oh my God, we are so tired of Instagram." Which are all of my friends are getting the same char content pieces by like 10 different creators.
Yeah,
Matlab, so I do think that's why I'm hopeful कि community abhi saturated but not for long,
yeah, yeah,
because at some point you will also get tired of just going on Instagram. So I'm hopeful for online to stay here for long.
yeah, yeah. Platforms might keep changing, but people will be online
Yeah,
and stay connected for long.
people people will be always be online.
Before we end, Nikhilesh, we want you to let the people know what you've
Yeah.
been working on and where they can find
Yes.
you.
Hello, everyone. I'll just take the liberty to just say hello again to introduce myself. So, I mean, 3 4 years ago, I was like the most of you, I think, who are consumers of the podcast, where you were leading a very busy life, recently married, so not able to find time for fitness. Though fitness has been something that has stayed with me for the last 20 years or so. I've been fairly consistent with that in that aspect, and I always wanted to promote this and ask people to stay healthy, not just by going to the gym, but there are, if you want to call it hacks, we can call it hacks, but there are micro movements, have better nutrition, and most important thing that I always wanted to add to it was the mental element of it. So that's what Habitry is trying to do: build healthy habits for you around health, physical health, nutrition, as well as mindset. I would like to call it mental health, but I know these days that word sometimes gets take up perceived in a wrong way. But yeah, so and how we do that is that we offer you, once you take our subscription, you become part of a I mean, you are coached by a mindset coach, a nutritionist, as well as a health coach. All three manage you on WhatsApp, because we think that that's something which is better than an app. You can keep talking to them full time, and they can keep responding to you and manage your health goals as per your schedule. I mean, you can find me on Instagram, nikhilesh.in, and the Instagram account of the company is habitry.in.
Perfect. Perfect pitching, Nikhilesh.
How can I forget? And we have a WhatsApp community as well. How did I forget? That's so. The name of the community is the Habitry Circle. We are slowly trying to build that up through good conversations with whoever joins into the in the community.
Perfect. Okay. And cut.